Hey everybody, I am Jesse Dollemore, and this is The Conversation, brought to you by my twice-weekly podcast on iTunes and Google Play, or wherever you get podcasts. I doubt it with Dollemore. You can actually even subscribe by going to my website, dollemore.com, because let's be honest, if you love or hate what I do here, you're for sure gonna love or hate what I do over there. So today, I received a whole bunch of messages asking me to address the news that Tomi Lahren was suspended for a week by her employer, The Blaze, and some of you out there presume that it was at the direction of Glenn Beck himself. For those of you out there who don't know what's going on, the other day, Tomi was on The View with Joy Behar, Sunny Hostin, Jedediah Bila, and a couple of other ladies that I don't know. And surprising to just about everybody, Tomi claimed to be pro-choice.
But let me ask you this. You call yourself a conservative Republican and a constitutional conservative, but you also consider yourself pro-choice, which is interesting to me because 68% of conservative Republicans think that abortion should be illegal across the board.
No, I'm pro-choice, and here's why. I am a constitutional, someone that loves the Constitution. I am someone that's for limited government, and so I can't sit here and be a hypocrite and say I'm for limited government, but I think that the government should decide what women do with their bodies. I can sit here and say that as a Republican, and I can say, you know what, I'm for limited government, so stay out of my guns. And you can stay out of my body as well. So I think it's...
You need to go out and speak to women about that.
I do every day.
Republican women.
I do every day.
Now look, I'm not going to even try to guess what's actually inside Tomi's heart. All we really have to go on are her words. Luckily for us, there's all kinds of video out there to rely on. For instance, watch this clip from only 90 days or so ago where she uses ridiculously inflammatory language to describe pro-choice people and the actual procedure of abortion.
The pro-choicers are supposed to be about rare and safe abortions. That's how they avoid sounding like straight-up baby killers, by acknowledging abortion is not a positive thing and a difficult choice. Then we have Lena freaking Dunham out there wishing she could have murdered a fetus, wishing for the option to kill your child. Doesn't exactly say much about the cause, her character, or the pro-choice movement.
When was the last time you heard someone who believed in a woman's right to access safe reproductive care refer to it as pro-choice with big-ass air quotes? When did you last hear a pro-choice person refer to a woman who made the almost impossible decision to have an abortion as a straight-up baby killer? That was just 3 months ago, and she was talking like that. So what changed? It seems to me that she was either lying then or she's lying now. Or maybe, now that her contract is disintegrating right before her very eyes, she's trying to say whatever she thinks will land her a job. Any angle you take on this, little alt-right Tomi, it smells like lies. Now, in the wake of the news that The Blaze has put Tomi in detention for a week, Glenn Beck took to the airwaves and gave a weird answer about whether or not she's fired. Here, watch this strangely blurry clip released by Glenn Beck and The Blaze.
There are two things to discuss on this Tomi Lahren dust-up with The View, and one of them is her employment at The Blaze. Let's start there. First of all, we have a whole bunch of different kinds of people that work here. We started The Blaze with a show called The Real News. Real News was absolutely fantastic, and it was hosted by Amy Holmes, who was openly pro-choice. So if you're pro-choice, you can have a job at The Blaze. I don't hire people who are sycophants or who have my opinion. I try to hire people who have a different opinion because I believe in being intellectually rigorous. I don't want straw men. I want people to make a real argument on the other side so we can learn from each other and we can grow.
So Glenn Beck says disagreeing is fine at The Blaze and people don't get fired for it. Yet, she's suspended for a week. Yeah, I know. It's weird. He also tweeted before this blurry-ass video something to her in response to all of this, "I'm now all of a sudden a champion of women's reproductive health business." He wrote, quote, Wait, libertarian views? Help me out on Trump care, stimulus, and the executive orders. Trump is anything but a libertarian. Hashtag intellectual honesty. So maybe he's just having an issue with the insane hypocrisy of all of this. I don't know. It may surprise you that I've got kind of a soft spot for old Glenn Beck. I think he tries. Now, don't get me wrong, he's wrong. A lot. But he's also brave enough and big enough to come out and admit when he's been wrong. He is and has always been anti-Donald Trump. Also, you may be shocked to know he is pro-Black Lives Matter now and apologized for all of his earlier rhetoric on the matter. So I'm going to believe him when he says that it's not why she's in the corner for a week. Maybe the reason is real simple. And maybe it's one we can all understand. Maybe he just doesn't like her. I mean, have you watched her? Of course you have. She's not all that likable. I think we all know that. So here is what I predict. She's not going to live out the remainder of her contract, which is up in, I believe, September. She's going to land somewhere else as a commentator, maybe Fox News, who knows. But there isn't a legitimate organization out there that's going to pull the trigger and give her her own show. Amateur hour is over, Tommy. Maybe your buddies Donald Trump and Steve Bannon can get you a gig over there at Breitbart. Or maybe give the Nazi haircut Richard Spencer a call. I hear he's in the market for a bodyguard. Thanks a lot, you guys.